All right, today we're going to talk about the one thing, the single resource that can totally change your financial future. And I'm willing to bet it's not what you think it is. So let's just dive right in.
So, let me ask you a question. What's the number one ingredient for building wealth? No, seriously, just take a second. What's the first thing that pops into your head?
Now, for most of us, the answer is probably money, right? Or maybe having some amazing skills, or, catching that perfect opportunity, or just getting plain lucky. And look, all of those things definitely matter, but the material we're digging into today says the real engine, the hidden force that drives everything else, well, it's time. So let's really unpack that idea, because getting this is what our source calls the actual real secret to building wealth. This quote from Akperode Jimmy really nails it. Wealth is not just built by effort, it is built by the strategic use of time. Just that one sentence, it forces you to look at creating value in a completely new way. It's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter with your time. Think about it like this, almost like you're a farmer. You can't just throw a seed in the ground in the morning and expect to have a full-grown plant by dinner time, right? That's just impossible. There's a growth period that you simply cannot skip. And wealth, it works the exact same way. It needs an environment, and it absolutely needs a season to grow and mature. And that whole growth period idea applies to pretty much everything that matters. Time is what allows your skills to go from basic to expert. It's what solidifies your reputation. It's what lets your investments really take off. It's even what helps you build a deep, meaningful network. Every single one of these assets needs time to become truly valuable. But what about the other side of that coin? What happens when we don't respect time? Well, that's when we start talking about the incredibly high cost of lost years. This right here, it lays out a really powerful and honestly, kind of sobering story. So picture two people, right? Person A and person B. At 25 years old, person A decides to start seriously building valuable skills. Meanwhile, person B is just drifting. Fast forward to age 30. Person A now has 5 solid years of experience under their belt. By 35, that gap is a full decade, a 10-year head start. And it wasn't about who was smarter, it was about who understood that their 20s were the prime time for building. And this leads us to what might just be the most important point of this whole explainer. The source material argues this. The biggest financial mistake people make is not wasting money. It is wasting years. Think about that. You can always make more money. You can never get back a lost year, let alone a lost decade. Your years are the one raw material you can't replace. Okay, so we've established that time is absolutely critical. But how does it work its magic? This is where things get really interesting, where we see how time actually multiplies everything. The word for it is compounding. Now, you've probably heard about it with money, but it's so much bigger than that. All it means is growth building on top of previous growth. Simple, right? But the magic ingredient, the thing that unlocks its insane power, is time. Without a long enough runway, compounding just never gets off the ground. And this visualization shows you exactly why that runway matters so much. Just look at the growth here. The jump from the beginning to year 10, it's pretty good. But then look at the jump from year 20 to year 30. It's massive. That's compounding kicking into high gear. The growth isn't a straight line. It's a curve that gets steeper and steeper the more time you feed it. And here is the real game changer. This principle isn't just for your retirement account. It applies to everything. The skill you practice a little bit every day, it compounds. The reputation you build with one good deed at a time, it compounds. The knowledge you gain book by book, it all compounds. Small, consistent inputs over a long time lead to these huge multiplied results later on. So this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually use this information? Well, let's get into your strategic time playbook with some clear, actionable steps drawn straight from the source. Here are 4 simple but incredibly powerful strategies. Number 1, start early. I mean, it's the biggest cheat code you can possibly have. Number 2, focus on skills that have a long shelf life. Ask yourself, will the skills still be in demand in 10 years? If the answer is yes, that's where you put your time. 3, be consistent. It's not about huge heroic efforts. It's the small daily deposits of work that build a fortune. And finally, number 4, think long-term. Start making plans that span decades, not just weeks. When you have that long-term vision, it completely changes the decisions you make today. And this brings us right back to where we started, landing on this one powerful idea. The true builders of wealth are not those who chase quick money, but those who respect the power of time. It's a huge mindset shift, isn't it? It's about moving from hunting for a quick win to patiently planting a forest. So the real takeaway here is that true value, and all the wealth that comes with it, is a product of time and consistency. If this way of thinking resonates with you, today's explainer was based on content from AJ Media. You should subscribe to AJ Media for more teachings on mindset, personal development, value monetization, business, and wealth building. Thanks for tuning in.